Why the mayor and council do not need a raise? Well, for one thing, they're not doing their job. That's one. Two is that if we raise council and mayor's salary on up to a higher pay, they become more dependent on the city and that job, and will do anything to keep it. It's not for us, but for themselves. Right now, another reason why you can't drag them out of office right now. To prove my point about dragging them out of office, Elizabeth Beck in District 9, the first time when these people got in office, they asked for a raise. They were in office 5 months and they asked for a triple pay and salary, which right there should send flags up and show you their character's not about doing the job, but themselves. Right there, you should know. But nevertheless, and she was complaining that it wasn't enough money to do it. It was hard to do this job and another one and do this. It was just too hard. That they needed more money for the work they were doing. But that failed, and they didn't get the money, and she didn't resign. That's the best thing. She could quit. No one's making her do this job. Quit. There are people that will do this job and do the job better than Beck. Plenty. So it would be an advantage to the city if she was to resign and someone else take that spot. But nevertheless, so when it comes up to the next election, the redistrictizing was drawing lines that would hurt her getting reelected, and she was actually crying. I mean, crying that she would not get reelected because of the way the map was being drawn. So on one hand, she's complaining earlier there's not enough money, but on the other hand, she's crying to keep the job. So she'll do anything to keep the job. Until we have no people running for office and you don't have to drag them out of office, then we should be addressing the issue of applying more salary. But until that point in time, it's not sensible just to give them a raise because other cities pay their council and mayor more money than what they should. First off, they knew the salary before they took the job, okay? And also, what Parker has done since she's been in office is she awarded $11 million of yours and my tax dollars out to keep Bessie Price, the former mayor, from going to jail. $5.5 million to Fitzgerald and $2 million to two techs that were all fired when they caught Bessie Price robbing us, and she fired them. And $2 million to outside lawyers. That's a lot of money she put out there, of our money, for this. And they didn't have to. All they had to do was just sit tight and let it get to court. Didn't have to let it get to court. They could have settled, offered them a job back, made up for it, paid them back pay. Some compensation, but not this much money. Also, if it gets to court, it all comes out, what Bessie Price did. But that's the main reason why they got so much money not to go to court, and they knew it. And they milked it for what they pretty much could get away with, and they did. And that's why Mattie Parker was put in office. Her main reasons there is to protect Bessie Price. Bessie Price also said it. That was her chief staff, and that was the only person she'd trust. And they put $1 million, put Mattie Parker there. So this little game they're playing is something else. Fort Worth's a $2 billion business. And if we don't start taking control, we let criminals take over, really. These people are really nothing but just con artists and criminals, really, because they're not doing their job. They don't, no transparency. No, they're doing right the opposite of what they said they would do. Also, this job was not meant to be a full-time job. It's meant to serve the people. It's not meant to, I don't want to change the job to fit the people we have down there. I want to change the people to fit the job. That'll be best. Another thing our beloved mayor has done is remove the remote speaking from the city council meetings. This means you have to show up in person. If you're disabled, that may not be always so easy to do. if you work long hours, and especially with them moving the council meetings up to 6 p.m. from 7, that we fought to put it at 7, they moved it up to 6. Makes it harder for people to go to them. So, and then they took away the remotes, what Mattie Parker does, so you can't call in. You have to show up there. And so that is really, that's removing their right to speak. It's not a good thing to do. That's not a decent, no decent mayor would do something like that. And everybody should have a right to speak at council. If there's a zoning case or whatever it may be, you should have a right to be able to. And what they've done is limited those rights. Here's an argument you'll hear that they're so overworked. That's BS, 100%. First thing these people do when they get elected office, they start putting themselves on boards. They don't have to. They should appoint people there so that they could be more free to address us like they're supposed to. Instead, they put in community engagement, which are people with an overpaid salary, some with a way overpaid salary, to do their job. Council is not overworked. They have staff to do everything. They really don't have to do anything much, really. And if you know how, you don't have to. You have people do it for you. So they're not overworked. And they don't have to put themselves on they shouldn't be. And above all, they should remove themselves from the CCPD fund board, that they remove the independent staff that was on there and put themselves there. They should not be in charge of that money. We are being robbed there. That's another whole department, CCPD fund money. We're being robbed. Carlos, council member, District 2, is the chair. When I questioned him, he ran away. He ran away. There's millions of dollars we're being robbed there. He ran away, okay? And that is a mission of guilt in itself right there. That's where voter education needs to come in more, if people understand what flags are and a mission of guilt. These are things to take a look at, to be concerned about. So to ask for a raise is just unreal. Now, what we need on the agenda is recall. On the charter, needs to be amended on the recall petition to read as 50% plus 1 instead of what it reads now. The way it reads now, I got an email just the other day saying impeach Mattie Parker. There's a lot of people want to take her out, but they put safeguards in to protect themselves against us, and they took away all of ours. The only thing we have left to fight with is public humiliation or to do it in numbers. And you can call them on the phone, and if everybody was to do that in this city, we'd get through and we'd make a statement. And it's that simple, and that's what we need. It's on my website. I've got some things people can do to, it's not much, because they took all away our weapons to fight with. So, and this is what we're talking about right here. The recall and the charter. If they want to put this on the ballot, it would be good for the people. 50% plus 1. What that means is that, like in District 5, Deborah Peoples got elected with 2,000 votes. Okay, if we wanted to recall her, all we need is 1,000 signatures plus 1. So it's whatever plus 1. If you got in on 100 votes, it'd be 50 signatures plus 1. That would be enough to cause a recall. That would be enough. And if we could change the charter to that, minute to that, these council members that we hire in the future, everybody would be more out to listen or to do right, because it wouldn't be that, it'd be possible for us to take action in. These are the things that we've lost. What they've got in there is like 20%. Only 3% voted, 20%. That's over 20,000 signatures you need just to remove a council member. Not 1,000 plus 1, 20,000. And they know that. And it's just like they put it out of reach on purpose. It's a safeguard for them. That needs to be put on the charter and amended. What kind of mayor do we have that won't put that on the charter? By merit alone, if we have a good mayor, that would go on the charter. Term limits, 3 2-year term limits, step down for 1. That's my proposal for term limits. And there again,
If we had a good mayor, they'd put it on the ballot. That's not, the mayor wouldn't be approving or not approving. They'd be allowing the people to make the decision on this. And I believe these things will pass overwhelmingly. We put them on there. They have in other cities, and no reason why they wouldn't here. The other one is campaign contribution limits. I'll tell you, that's why I'm talking about Mattie getting $2 million. Let's stop the corruption. Put that on the ballot. These 3 things in the charter we need to amend. Put that on the ballot. I think after experience of 13 years of doing this, if you can't win a district with $25,000, you don't need to be running, you don't know how to manage money, and we don't need them. I want the best people in office. I want my council member to be an educated person that knows how to manage money. I want my council member to be transparent and someone I can trust. I want my council member to be someone to answer questions. Don't you want that? Well, this is a pathway to get to it. $25,000. Make the races more fair about qualification, not donations. Right now, they buy them with a POA. This would help shut down the POA from buying candidates, and that's a dirty organization. The mayor, $150,000 is plenty enough. You can't take that spot with $150. You don't know how to manage money. It's that simple. That simple. So let's get the persons that can manage the money the best. Everybody be equal. Everybody 150 or less. These are the things that we need to put in place to make our races to get better qualified people in office.